All right, time now for All Things Gators, All Things Orange and Blue. Dan Hicken and Frank Frangie. What's up, Hick?
Oh, lots of stuff going on. Thank you, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, Frank, the best in the business, se-ortho.com, for all your orthopedic needs in the Jacksonville area. We got many things to cover. Let's start with the spring game. You want to go there? You were there.
I was there, and it was all kind of, and I got to meet Todd Golden and talk to him and Scott Strickland. But we'll start with football a little bit. I got all kind of thoughts about the spring game, being there, being around the players. I'll give you the good first. Anthony Richardson was pretty good. Man. Everyone worried, could he throw we knew he could make the big plays. Could he make enough of the little plays? And I thought he looked good. He was accurate. He was poised. I thought he commanded the huddle. You know he can run. It was touch football for him, so he wasn't going to have to break any tackles. I was very pleased with QB1. I think that's without burying the lead, that's story number one.
Yeah, I would agree. I'm excited about him and what he can do. I like the strides that he's made on and off the field. Look, I talked to Denny Thompson a lot, who works with Anthony, and look, he had an incident with a speeding ticket that he can't do. He can't have those, but he owned it, and I like how he handled it. And I think Anthony Richardson has a bright future, and I think he could have a big year. But I think that I will say this, Frank, I think for Florida to have the kind of season that the fans want him to have, Anthony Richardson is going to have a wow year, because I'm a firm believer in the right coaches there. They're ready to roll, but they've got a lot of work to do on the recruiting front. I think the cupboard is not bare, but it's not full either.
Yeah. Watching the team play, Dan, to your point, and I agree with it, it looked like a 7-win team.
Yeah.
I think the quarterback's good. I like the offensive line. I think that's actually going to be a strength. This Montrell Johnson, the transfer running back, looks like a good player. But I didn't see defensive linemen. You look at all the teams that have been good, like great over the years, the Alabama, Georgia, Clemson. And Georgia's got 3 guys.
Right.
That are going to go in the first. 3 defensive linemen are going in the first round this year. So you have to you look at the great Florida teams with Sharif Powell and Floyd, or Sharif Floyd and Kenny Powell and all those guys. Even back in the day with Marcus Thomas and Joe Cohen and Derek Harvey and Jarvis Moss and other teams as well, Bolware and Wilson for FSU. Great teams have great defensive lines. And I don't sense there's a lot of that in Gainesville. So there's some building to do before they're a 10 or 11 win team.
Yeah, that's the point. And I think that Florida fans are going to have to be patient, although I did see the odds for Florida-Utah pick'em game. I would have thought Utah would probably be a top 10 team, but they are coming to the Swamp. And Florida will be sky high for that one. I can't wait. I look forward to it, but I do think there's a lot of new here, and there's a lot of work that has to be done on the recruiting front. And speaking of recruiting, Gator fans need to watch this unfold. It's going well. Some of them get up in arms when they get a 3-star. It's okay. Let him do his thing, and let's see where they're headed. But for momentum's sake, it would be good to have a couple of nice big boys commit to Florida in the next couple months.
Yeah, I agree with that for the future. As for the now, keep an eye on the portal, Dan. Because Billy Napier was very clear. He said it could reach double digits. He said the Gators are going to be open for business. And again, you got to get those big D linemen. The good thing about the portal for defensive line is the portal is usually 22 and 23-year-old guys. That's who's in the portal.
Correct.
So I think, even the Penn State guy and the 2 Auburn guys weren't great, but Florida would have been a lot worse without them.
Yeah.
And so I think Florida's they've got to get guys in the portal. And again, to me, it's wide receivers and defensive guys.
Yeah.
I think the line's okay. I think Richardson's going to be good. I think the running backs are okay. But they've got to impact that defense a little bit. But you're right. You've got to get to where I think that we've had this talk on the podcast a bunch. Billy Napier has turned Florida into the school people want to go to.
Yeah.
This is the party you want to go to now. The facility, his energy, all these 4 and 5 stars are now visiting. That wasn't the case before. Now you got to turn the visits into commitments, and I get that. But and it's going to be a process, like you said. Don't jump off the ship because a 3-star commits. He may be a really good player. What you don't want is 12 3-stars committing. That's what you don't want. But no, you got to get some players. But for the here and now, I think they're going to like Anthony Richardson. Back to the Utah game. Look, If Anthony Richardson's spectacular, the sky's the limit, because outscore a little bit of your deficiencies on defense. But it's going to be a fun season. I can tell you this, being down there, I'm very excited about the next step.
Yeah.
I really am.
Yeah, I am too. And I look forward to it. Billy Napier, by the way, in Jacksonville Thursday night. We're doing this Thursday morning. So he's coming in to speak to, he's doing the speaking tour right now as well. So he's out and about, and I like everything he's done. I'm excited to see, but I it's going to be, talk to us in October, and, if they're 3-2 or whatever, then people are going to be, you just got to let him do his thing for a while.
Yeah, no question. And I think that he will. So football is in good shape. Let's get to basketball. What do you think of the early returns on Todd Golden?
I'm not as bullish as everybody on that one. I feel like there's some good and some not good. I'd like to keep, some of the sign guys. Castleton's huge. And listen, college basketball is crazy right now. You just saw the Big O go back to Kentucky for about $2 million. Castleton came back to Florida, but good for Florida. They paid him, right? You watched a legendary coach retire at 60. And I think probably maybe in part because, man, I don't want to deal with this stuff. It's a different world out there now. So it's going to be interesting to see. And we do have a young, energetic coach, and I'm totally on board. And I hope he can find some guys. But, I'm more of I'm going to see how it unfolds here.
Yeah, I agree with you. You got to play, right?
Yeah.
So two things. The NIL, I said this on the radio show the other day, Dan. The one part of the NIL that I did not realize is it's going to keep some good players in college. I never saw that part.
Yeah.
I thought it would help. I thought it would, number one, help. The most important thing is players get paid because they deserve to, because they make a lot of money for the university. And number two, I thought the Blue Bloods would have an advantage because they have more money. The part of the chapter of the book that I had not read and thought about is it's now going to help some players who would have wandered off to the NBA or the NFL and never made it.
Yeah.
Stay in college for an extra year.
Yeah.
Castleton's here because of NIL. Sheepway is staying in Kentucky because of NIL. Who knows how many others are like that? So I think that part's cool.
Yeah.
As for Florida, look, he got Castleton to stay. That is a big deal. Big deal. The two, Bonham and Richard, the two transfers he's getting from VMI and Belmont, I don't know how good they are.
Right.
The Richard kid reminds me of Flanders Fleming. So they got to get some guys that can shoot, but you had to go do that.
Yes.
But apparently, if they get the kid from Morehead State.
Yeah, that's the kid.
The 6'11"
Johnny
kid,
Broom,
Johnny Broom, I think his name is. If they get him to stay, to come, in addition to Castleton, I got a hunch they may have a pretty good team.
Yeah.
I can tell you this. Castleton said when he decided to stay and surprised everybody, his comment was, "We're going to the tournament. You can write that down."
Right.
Now, who knows if he's right or not? He's an excited college kid.
Sure.
But something excited him enough to say that.
Yeah.
That's kind of something, Dan, made him say that. Got me a little bit excited. And I will tell you this, meeting Todd Golden, had him on for 15 minutes, sat right next to him. And he's a sharp guy. I will tell you. Yeah. You will be impressed when you get to sit down with Todd Golden. I really like him.
He's very youthful looking, isn't he? Very youthful looking. So, but yeah, I like I said, I'm on board. I want him to do well. I think there's a lot of challenges with Florida basketball, and I'm curious to see how he does going forward. Boy, Florida baseball got a kick in the giblets. Our guy Hunter Barco from here in Jacksonville, and they say elbow and they say pitcher, Frank, and they say indefinitely. You can do the news in your head pretty much. Yeah,
that's got Tommy John written all over it. And we don't know, and I hope I'm wrong. But usually it's an elbow and a shutdown. Yeah. More times than not, it leads to Tommy John. And look, he was the only real bright spot on that pitching staff. Yeah. Other Sproat had some moments. Yes. The back end, Purnell on the back end had some moments, but it was going to be it was going to be Hunter Barco and everybody else on that staff. I was hoping when they pulled him out last week, he just was sick or had a cold or something. Yeah. I think that was kind of the rumor going around. Yeah. Well, now it looks like it's arm stuff. And look, two things. Number one, I hate it for Hunter. Right. The good news is most guys in this day and age, and again, I don't want to jump the gun. Nobody has said it's Tommy John. Correct.
Correct.
But let's assume in the event that it is, most guys in this day and age, Dan, have it and come back fine. He come back even stronger. So it's not like it's career threatening, I don't think, for Hunter, even if it is Tommy John. And again, I don't want to misrepresent it.
Right.
But I think he'll be okay. I hate it for him.
He was a very coveted prospect for the MLB draft. And then and again, allow us to jump the gun. It's what we do on this podcast. And I don't know this for a fact, but I've had more than one person tell me that he had Tommy John in high school. I don't know if that's true or not.
Oh, I have no idea.
Yeah, I know he had some elbow issues, but I don't know, or arm issues, I should say. I cannot confirm that, but I had more than one person tell us that he had it before. That, again, I don't know, but I hate that for kids, man. I mean, these guys have worked so hard and they're chasing their dreams. And that's the one thing that, man, oh man, you can't, but you're right. There's other guys who've come back from 2, and we were talking this morning on the radio about Johnny Venners, who had 3 Tommy Johns and still pitched in the big league. So wish the kid and the family nothing but the best going forward, and hope that it's not Tommy John. Hopefully it's not torn. Hopefully he doesn't get surgery, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm a big believer too. Excuse me, I got a little cough here.
Yeah,
I'm a big believer that, and this isn't a conversation for the Gator podcast,
right?
But our pitchers throw too much. They spend too much time in the fall. They throw too hard.
Yep.
There's too many if there's this many Tommy Johns happening, we're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
But again, that's a conversation for another day. But I hate it for.
But it's a crippling blow to the baseball program too. Is the point? They got number 1 Tennessee coming in this weekend.
Yeah. They're 33-3. Tennessee is 33-3. Tony Vitello's done an unbelievable job. They started out 12-0 in the league. I don't know what they are now, but it's amazing how good they are. And look, Florida's baseball program's in trouble. They're just okay. Yeah. With all those young guys, young pitchers. Look, there's a huge series for them. Fortunately, they found a way to win 1 game in Vanderbilt after winning 2 out of 3 for Arkansas. They're way better at home, by the way. Yeah. Florida's a much better team at Florida Ballpark than they are away from it. But regardless of how this series
you're talking about the regional too, like for them to even make a regional, they got to get cranked up here.
Yeah, to host a super, you got to be one of the top 8 teams. That ain't like it's going to happen. No. To host a regional, you got to be one of the best 16 teams.
Yeah, that's that's real iffy.
I'm not sure that's happening.
I would agree.
And then you got to be obviously one of the best 64, whatever, to get in, which I think they'll get in. But it's a disappointing year again. Well, they sure are a long way removed from that 16-0 start in the pandemic year, when it looked like Sully had that whole thing turned around again, and all was well with Gator baseball. And again, I believe in Sully. He's won a championship. He'll get this thing fixed. But I'm surprised they're struggling this much. There's a lot of veteran guys on that offensive team. Yeah. On the offense. I mean, Judd Fabian's having a big year. He's got 16 home runs.
Sure.
But I mean, Halter, the second-year guy. Kalalau and Armstrong and Rivera, those guys have been there a long time. Yeah. And you would think, and Ryapel, who just got there,
he's been great.
3 home run game. Yeah. He's been great. So you would think with that many older veteran guys, the team would be better. The problem is the pitchers are young guys. Yeah. And it's a struggling baseball team.
Frank, the Vandy series really was a microcosm of the season. I mean, they led every game. They led the first game, and they're about to put that one away. They led the second game. Hell, they led the third game 3-1 in the 9th inning. With 1 strike away, with a guy on first base, and the pitcher looking great, and all of a sudden this kid hits one 500 feet and we're tied again. I was like, are you kidding me? I know that if you go back and take away the walk-offs from the other teams, they'd be just fine, but that you can't, and that's been their Achilles heel.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. The first one was the Alabama series, first series of the year. Yeah. They had a great record overall.
Yeah, about to sweep Bama. Yeah.
Had beaten FSU, won 2 out of 3 from Miami. Won the first 2 against Alabama, and we're thinking huge season. Well, Alabama came back and walked them off in that last one.
Right.
And that kind of started it all, didn't it?
Sure did.
That started the whole decline, and ever since then, it's been a tough go for them. So we'll see. Gymnastics team, because our friend Lauren Brooks insists we talk about it.
We should. It was a T-shirt day. Yeah. We had the Natties coming in our back pocket. And the dirty ref stole it from us. I'll say it. I'll be the one to say it. You can tell me what you want. I don't know enough about gymnastics to score. I'm not going to be on one particular day it's them, on another particular day it's Oklahoma guy. No. Oklahoma, like, they stepped out of bounds and stuff. I let the experts tell me, and Florida got screwed on some of their scores, and it cost us a natty, Frank. It costs us a damn natty.
And again, our friend Lauren Brooks, who follows it way closer than me and you, said the same thing, that we got some raw bad judging. So I don't know enough about it. But
I don't either, but I'm pissed about it, Frank.
Did you watch? I was watching.
I was watching Trinity. You know what? Just an off question that you won't know the answer to, I don't think, nor do I. That girl's like, why isn't she in the Olympics?
I know. I don't know the answer, but she's
I don't know the answer. Because the girl at Auburn is Olympic champion, and she beats her.
I know. I'm not smart enough to know that.
I'm just curious. Yeah.
Trinity Thomas is a great Gator. I'll tell you that, boy.
Heck yeah.
She has been fantastic, and I was rooting hard. By the way, the gymnastics is a big deal. It was on ABC.
That's right.
That's the American Broadcast Company, Dan.
That's right.
You're a TV guy. You would know that.
I do.
It wasn't on one of these cable outlets. It was on. So it was a big deal, and I thought we had one, and we just had one get away. So that was disappointing. But anyway, that's All Things Gators.
Yes, sir.
Keep an eye on recruiting. You're the recruiting beat reporter. I expect you to deliver some big news for us.
I got some summer news coming, Frank.
I would like to see that. That's All Things Gators. Dan Hicken and Frank Frangie.
Yeah, thank you, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, se-ortho.com for all your orthopedic needs in Jacksonville. Frank, you have yourself a great week.
You too, Hick.
All right, bud.